Welcome. Don't know where you might be viewing from, but I hope you are enjoying the stream. Anyway, it is Anthony here on a Wednesday afternoon, and would love to know where you are viewing from. A lot has happened lately, and yes, you will start seeing more of me on my YouTube channel as I try to get acclimated to all the changes with technology, all these downloads and different stream tools. I mean, when you my age and you're not used to this, it could be quite a daunting task. But all I know to do is just bring you some good content, which I hope you will find this content is some good content. Anyway, the WNBA draft is just wrapped up. And it's safe to say that we've come a long ways. I mean, think about it. When you look at the NCAA Women's Championship versus the Men's Championship, 18.9 million viewers to 14.82 for the men. You know, it's funny, and I have to laugh at this now because I hear people say, I wouldn't watch that stuff. You know, uh, I'm not watching no women's game. It's not entertaining. Well, based on the numbers, sound like somebody is lying because 18.9 viewers for the women's championship would suggest that somebody's watching the game. I myself included. Yes. South Carolina versus Iowa was entertaining. Yes, a lot of it was, you know, uh, public's view was Caitlin Clark, but you couldn't help but take notice of the team that was University of South Carolina. You couldn't help but take notice of the coach that is Don Staley. When you start talking college women's basketball, now you're starting to know some of these players by name outside of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You're starting to know who Kamila Cardoso is, which leads into my next story because Angel Reese and Kamila Cardoso spent their careers battling each other. Now in the WNBA, they'll be teammates. That's right. So Angel Reese and Kamila Cardoso have spent much of their college careers battling in the paint. But after Monday's WNBA draft, one of the most anticipated in league history, they'll finally be on the same team. That's right. They will finally be team. Both Cardoso and both Cardoso, the Brazilian number 3 pick from the University of South Carolina, and Reese, a Baltimore native who was picked 7th out of Louisiana State University, were selected by the Chicago Sky, creating a formidable duo. I'm just so excited I get to play with Camila, Reese said shortly after being picked. I've been playing against her since high school. Similarly, Cardoso expressed excitement about playing with Reese, who, like Cardoso, brings height and strength to the front court. Cardoso is 6'7" and Reese is 6'3". Two great players. Nobody's going to get no rebounds on us, Cardoso joked during a press conference after the draft. That might not be a joke. Monday's draft came 8 days after the college women's basketball season ended with a historic championship game in which Cardoso and the South Carolina Gamecocks beat Caitlin Clark and Iowa to cap off a perfect undefeated season and take home the trophy. Nearly 19 million people tuned in for the matchup, making it the most watched basketball game at any level, regardless of gender, since 2019. And though Clark finished her college career without a ring, she was selected as the number 1 overall pick on Monday by the Indiana Fever. I think the biggest thing is I'm just very lucky to be in this moment and all these opportunities and these things. They're once in a lifetime, Clark said. The WNBA tips off May 14. Chicago Sky's first matchup is against the Dallas Wings on May 15th. So there you have some news of who's going where. As a matter of fact, there is a little bit more to this article, or actually, there's more concerning the draft. As, of course, you know, Caitlin Clark went number one by the Indian Free Rock. Kamila Cardoso and Angel Reese are teaming up in Chicago. So, excitement for women's basketball is perhaps the highest it's ever been. Make no bones about it. And now many of the stars from the NCAA women's basketball tournament, including Iowa's Caitlin Clark, Stanford's Cameron Brink, LSU's Angel Reese, and South Carolina's Camila Cardoso, are taking their talents to the WNBA. As expected, Clark, who helped attract record-breaking TV audiences and sellouts in arenas around the country in her first collegiate season, was selected number one overall by the Indiana Fever. And I'm having some, there we go. By the Indiana Fever in the WNBA draft Monday at the Brooklyn Academy of Music in New York. She says, I got a little anxious there before the pick, Clark said on ESPN broadcast. She later added, I've dreamed of this moment since I was in second grade. It's taken a lot of hard work, a lot of ups and downs, but more than anything, just trying to soak it in. Brink went number two overall to the Los Angeles Sparks. The Chicago Sky selecting third took Cardoso, while Rakia Jackson of Tennessee went number four to the Sparks. Rounding out the top five, the Dallas Wings selected Ohio State's J.C. Sheldon. Cardoso, who is from Brazil, was emotional when reflecting on leaving her home country back when she was 15 to pursue her professional basketball dream. I had a goal to be here tonight and give my family a better life. So I'm just so thankful that I was able to be here, she told ESPN through tears. UConn's Aaliyah Edwards went sixth overall to the Washington Mystics. Reese, meanwhile, landed with the Sky at number seven, joining forces with fellow rookie Cardoso. Reese was the 2023 Final Four Most Outstanding Player when LSU won the national title, with Cardoso earning the honor this year after South Carolina completed an undefeated season and won the program's third national championship. Coming back to LSU would have been amazing for me, but I wanted more for myself, Reese said. I want to start over. I feel like I have been on a high since winning the national championship, and I want to hit rock bottom. I want to be a rookie again. I want to be knocked down by vets, and I want to be able to get up and grow and be a sponge. I'm just super excited to play with the amazing players and against amazing players. Utah's Elisa Field went to the Minnesota Lynx at number eight. Two players from France completed the top 10. The Wings selected Carla Lighty at number nine, and the Connecticut Sun, with the 10th pick, chose Leila Lakin. The crowd roared for the hometown New York Liberties pick, going with Marquisha Davis of Ole Miss at number 11 to complete the first round. The Atlanta Dream selected Australian Nadi Pouch with the 12th pick. The buzz around Clark, who will be paired with last year's number one overall pick, Aaliyah Boston, comes with weighty expectations. The potential for more national audience on Wednesday. The WNBA announced 36 of the Fever's 40 games will be featured by the WNBA's national broadcast and streaming partners. Caitlin is one of the most naturally gifted basketball players I have ever seen enter the WNBA from the collegiate level, Fever head coach Christy Sides said. Her shooting and her passing abilities captivated an entire audience of basketball fans, and her ability to make those around her better, even more evident during her collegiate career. We can't wait to bring her to Indiana and incorporate her into our locker room with a group ready to get back in the postseason. The Fever had one of the worst records in the league last season, but with a tandem of Boston and Clark, it could be one of the hottest tickets in sports. I certainly know the pressure is there. I'm aware of it, Clark told CNN on the orange carpet ahead of the draft. There's never any running away from it. But I think for myself, all my confidence comes from the work I put in, comes from my teammates. I know this is a team sport. That's why I love basketball. It's not an individual sport. And that's where all my confidence comes from. That's always what I rely on when moments feel tense or things feel under pressure. It's like that's what I just fall back to. So there you have a look back at the WNBA draft and what to look forward to. And I mean, I could just go on and on and on. As I look through some of the photos here, you see Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark posing for a picture together. You know what makes that so unique to me is because of how we as people spun what we saw in that national title game between Reese and Clark. Whereas they both did the same hand gesture, but one was praised for it while one was put in a villainous light. But at the end of the day, those two ladies have nothing but respect and love for each other. And shame on us, the general public and media, for trying to spin it differently more than what it was. Well, I think I rambled on enough, to get my feet wet back during this uh, YouTube live thing. Like I say, there will be more to come uh, because I also want to dive into some more issues that may be a little bit on the controversial side. Uh, uh, and this, I'm just going to give you the the heads up on this one. My next YouTube video that I would be doing is going to center on this transgender controversy. Anybody knows anything about sports? The NAIA has decided they were going to ban transgender athletes from playing women's sports. To which, in my opinion, I think that's fair because uh, if you are a male, biological male, you definitely have an unfair advantage. Uh, in saying that, the other side of that fence is Coach Don Staley. That's right. Uh, she endorses transgender. So the battle lines have been drawn, and I am going to speak on that on my next YouTube live. I may gain some friends, I may lose some friends, but I also believe at the end of the day, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. So I'm just going to lay it out that my next YouTube, I'm going to look at both sides of this issue, the pros, the cons, the fors, the against. But like I said, you know where pretty much where I stand. But where I stand shouldn't have any bearing on what you believe. We all have a right to believe what we want to believe. So with that being said, uh, look forward to my next YouTube live, and look forward to you guys also tuning in. And please, by all means, share it. I want y'all to share these videos. I want my videos to go viral. If I say something that's of controversy, hey, It's not meant to offend, because let me just say this here, and I'm gonna go ahead and cue up the outro bed. But I want to say this because a while back, and we have a tendency to use terms and we use them out of context. And one of the terminologies is, to say you're pushing your beliefs off. The state of Vermont, not too long ago, they banned one of their teams from playing in the state tournament because they forfeited a game against a team that had a transgender athlete. To which I say, that's how they felt. They had a right to do that. Well, the state of Vermont said, well, you do have the right to forfeit, but you do not have the right to push your beliefs off on everybody else. To which I say they were not pushing their beliefs off on. And that's what I can't understand for the life of me. Why is it that when we want to do our wrongdoing and we push it off, it's acceptable? But when you stand on your morals and your values and your beliefs, it's deemed as pushing your beliefs off on others. But all that's going to be talked about in my next YouTube when I talk about the controversy surrounding transgender. Until the next time, take care of yourself and each other. God bless. I love you more than you'll ever know. I'm out.